Greetings, music lovers. It's a cool, damp night here in here on Long Island. It's our fifth monthly On Your Radar, and we've got three artists which we think are worth special attention from Louisiana, Los Angeles, and Woodstock. And I welcome you wherever you are and whatever the weather is like wherever you are. We've had some pretty interesting weather. In fact, in Los Angeles, wildfires, and Louisiana, hurricanes. So I hope it'll be nice and peaceful for On Your Radar. Now, the drill for On Your Radar, if you're not familiar with it, is we have three artists each performing a 30-minute set along with a brief Q&A with me in advance, and I hope that you'll stay for all three. And I also hope that you'll show your appreciation for what they do with our tip jar, which you'll see on the screen there at paypal.me/onyourradar2020. So let me first welcome the man from Woodstock, Mr. Michael Veitch, to On Your Radar. Hi, Michael.
Hello, John. How are you?
Fine.
Good
So,
to see you.
well, I guess the weather's okay up there, right?
Oh, yeah, damp, but
Yeah.
we're not getting hurricanes.
So your roots originally are in Vermont, am I right?
That's correct. I'm a native Vermonter. Yeah.
And where did you go to college, and what was your degree in?
I went to SUNY in Manhattan, actually,
Oh,
SUNY Empire,
okay.
and I got my degree in community action. And I also studied photography with Mel Rosenthal, and some of my recent ones are behind me here. I'm still pretty active with the photography and with painting.
Well, that's good,
So, yeah,
multi-talented. But
yeah, yeah.
right after college, you got right into community action, didn't you?
Yes, ran for state senate in Vermont.
And who
It
did you
was
get an endorsement from?
Bernie Sanders
Yeah.
actually came down and campaigned with me, and that was always a thrill when Bernie would come down, and because I know I'd get the front page of the paper
Uh,
with Bernie, me and Bernie.
are you still in touch with him?
Well, not really. No, I sort of backed off. Sean Colvin was involved in this thing too, and I was at this real cusp. I didn't know what I wanted to do, politics or music. And she came in and she did a fundraiser for me and
Ah,
raised $10,000 and
okay.
blew my opponent freaked out. He still beat me, but he freaked out because I had more money than he did. And I realized that the music had more power actually than politics at this point in our history. I mean, it's so I'm still very involved, believe me.
Yeah, well, I can tell that from your music. And how did
Yeah.
you initially have a connection with Sean?
Well, I met her in the village, and she we had a mutual friend, and things just kind of she turned me on to Jack Hardy.
Oh,
That was the big thing that Sean did for me. I mean, I toured with her and everything, but I really want to give a shout out to Jack because I credit him. I went every Monday night for about 4 years to his songwriters meeting, and he mentored me, and
well, yeah,
I
I
think
think.
my writing is way stronger because of Jack.
Well, so many
So,
people benefited from his tutelage,
oh yeah,
including Suzanne Vega, who was already a big star, and she felt
yeah,
that she was getting kind of dry at one
yeah,
point, so she went back to those Monday night things,
yeah. I
and
was at some of them. Yeah,
and
where she
she
showed up. Yeah,
came up with one of her strongest albums, the songs in red and gray.
yeah,
So you spent a little bit of time in Germany. When was that?
yes. That was in 2015, 2016, somewhere in there.
And why?
Um, well, my life partner
Okay.
works for a big German corporation, and she got asked to come over there for a year. And I said, "Hey, I want to go with you." And she said, "Great." So off we went, and it turned into 2 years. And it was just a marvelous, marvelous experience. And I wrote over 50 songs while I was
Well,
there.
yeah, I think some of them are on this new album of yours, "The Best of
Yes,
Many Days." But your connection, or you had, you were in the village, I guess, East Village, when you met your wife. Is that true?
Yeah, back in the late 70s, 1978, 79, the summer. And he was just on our way off to law school, and I was on my way to Vermont to go back to work. And we had a wonderful summer together, and I've written a song about it, which you'll hear later. And then I think it was 20 or 30 years later, we got 2005, we got
Wow.
together. We're 15 years now together. We got back together again after, years and years and years.
It's
And we
amazing how
have a
that,
mutual friend. Yeah.
that happens sometimes. So you've been in Woodstock for how long now?
Since 1999.
Do you really feel connected to the music community here in Woodstock?
Yeah, and also the political community.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
the
right.
chair of the Woodstock Tree Committee,
Well, it's
and it's
very,
more work
very
than you think.
well. It's very involved in both cases, isn't it? The music and the
Yes,
politics. Uh,
it's a great music scene. I've got many friends up there. I love it that they'll just come and do session work for me, and it's all like very reasonable, and it's a really good scene, and that's why I'm there. I mean, I'm there for the music.
so you did record your album at Bearsville, which is a legendary studio,
Yeah.
and it's called "The Best of Many Days." I wonder what makes this the best of many days.
I'm not getting any younger.
Okay.
I guess at some point you got to take tally and say, I think I've got less stress in my life than I've ever had. I feel great, and I'm being very creative. And as I said, the music, the photography, the painting, politics, all sorts of stuff. I mean,
Seems like you're at the top of your game, Michael.
well, I'm trying.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on your radar. We're going to listen to something you pre-recorded, and we'll come back to you later. Okay.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
John.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the title track from the new CD, Best of Many Days. Young and 17, my pockets full of dreams, the strength of several men. I never looked back, I never looked down, and I never went home again. Of course I ignored the wisdom, stories I was told, but I endure all the fear and the dread, diving off those cliffs into the great unknown, no place I'd rather be instead. Were those the best of my many days, running on rocket fuel? Were those the best of my many days, as the hourglass sand runs through? You know time will take its toll, and time will have its way. It breaks a man each and every day. We all stand to face it, no one ever beats it. Time always wins this game. Were those the best of my many days, singing to my tired old bones? Were those the best of my many days, as the hourglass sand runs low? How was it that she knew there would be a way to make it through, and we never looked back, never looked down? She said in time Now I stand here before you, I look you in the eyes, seeing things I've never seen before. Each day brings a new day, better than the last day, knocking on my front door. These are the best of my many days, and I'm not ready to come home. These are the best of my many days. She turns the hourglass sand to gold. She turns the hourglass sand to gold. She turns the hourglass, the hourglass. I had the good fortune of spending a summer in New York City. I think the year was 1978. Could have been 79. I can't remember. But anyway, this is the song that came out of it. It's called That Was the Summer. Miracles happen on St. Mark's Place, up on the roof, holding hands. It only takes a moment, standing in grace. Who knows then what the gods have planned? Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. Was the summer, it was. Dancing on the corner to Patti Smith. It was hot, it was rarely dry, loud and smoky and smelling of reeds. We saw the Ramones that night and we cried. Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. Living life large on the Lower East Side, waking up the fire deep inside. Two hearts beating like a live wire. Burn, 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 burn. Miracles happen on St. Mark's Place. Down on the street, the world moves on. Those were the best of the many days, among the rest forgotten and gone. Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. Hey, yeah, 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 that was the summer. I have the good fortune of working with a group up here in
New York State that partners songwriters with Holocaust survivors. And I've got one finished and working on a second one with another survivor. And so this is a co-write with Rita Schwartz, and it's called Above the Rain.
Sun still shines above the darkness on the days we've lost our way. Everything can feel so heartless. The sky, she always smiles above the rain when all appears undone. She smiles on everyone. Broken glass won't last forever. Gone the boots and all the terror. Wait your chance for better weather. We've got hope, we've got each other here. We'll smile above the rain. Right here, we smile above the rain. Open your hand, here's a gift here for taking. Do what you can, it's your life you are making. Remember the past, it's a story for telling. It's a story for saving. I see blue skies when the others cry each morning. Sisters, brothers, try and do the best you can. All will bend in due time while the sun, she smiles above the rain. She smiles above the rain. She smiles above the rain. She smiles on every day.
So I think every folk singer has to have at least one song about the grapes of wrath, and you're always better off if you have two. I happen to have one here, and it's called Good Wind.
Astonishing women and their desperate men. Lucky's ever till the bitter end. There's another round of pain comes around again. The back may break, but the wheel won't bend. The desert on those shaky wheels, too sick to eat, too hungry to steal. I'm gonna make a last stand out in Bakersfield, too proud to beg, too hungry to feel. And if tomorrow comes a long black coat down the Holy Spirit and the Jesus road. They won't catch me, 'cause I ain't going. I'm gonna find which way a good wind is blowing. A little piece of land is all a man will need. Feed his family, keep him off his knees. Yeah, those tractors won the fight back in Tennessee. There's nothing left but the fading memories. And if tomorrow comes in a long black coat down the Holy Spirit and the Jesus road, they won't catch me, 'cause I ain't going. I'm gonna find which way a good wind is blowing. I'm gonna keep my eyes straight on this road we're driving on. This big valley can't hold us out for long. There'll be no more running till all the gas is gone. You can't stop a man who believes that he belongs. If tomorrow comes on a long black coat down the Holy Spirit and the Jesus road, you won't catch me, 'cause I ain't going. I'm gonna find which way a good wind is blowing.
Up here in Woodstock, New York, we have a long history of bluestone quarrying, and most of it done by Irish immigrants who came in on boats to New York City and were put on trains or carriages and hauled up here to go to work. Very dangerous conditions. And I'm half Irish, so I guess I have some sort of spiritual connection to this place. And I hope I can honor that through this song I wrote called Quarryman.
This rock so unforgiving, a year out here is a lifetime of living. Quarryman, just a cog in some machine, 16 hours taking dust and heat for so little. Quarryman, quarryman, these broken hands have touched the last of better days. Quarryman, your calloused heart to face another day. Hauling load up and down these these worn-out roads, sharpen all your tired blades, quarryman. Young bloods get the better stones to break. It won't take long to set them to their graves, quarryman, quarryman. These broken hands have touched the last of better days, quarryman. And break apart your callous time, face another day. Listening to the sermons that live inside the stone, loving the simple life that hides behind these bones, buried in the deepest veins, all you've ever known. Reaching for the mountain top, reaching for the mountain top. Fill more of the man's big cup with all the muscle that you got, and sing a song while you cut it, quarryman. This rock's so unforgiving here, our years like a lifetime of living, quarryman, quarryman. Your broken hands have touched the last of better days, quarryman. Break apart your callous time to face another day. Reaching for the mountain top.
This is called Veterans Day. I was very fortunate to have my friend Judy Collins discover it and record it, and the rest is history. If you're listening tonight, Judy, hope all is well, and here we go.
This is to all who find themselves not playing on the old schoolyard, running for their lives and not much else, to the drumming of their own desperate hearts, the drumming of their own desperate hearts. And it's blood and it's bullets now on our minds. The times, they haven't changed that much. Come a day we'll honor all those who have died, and remember the less fortunate ones. Yeah, remember the less fortunate ones. Let us pray as the day goes dark. White gloves, polish and flowers in the park. March the main streets and the boulevards. On our Veterans Day, on our Veterans Day. As new rains fall on our holy house, the biggest rains I've ever seen. Wild blue wind whipping, burning red clouds and the crazy white lightning in between. Yeah, the crazy white lightning in between. And let us pray as the day goes dark. White gloves, polish, and flowers in the park. March the main streets and the boulevards on a Veterans Day. On a Veterans Day. The sky tries, smiling, painted up, dry leaves flying. I can't stop wishing a rainbow. Before that last flood washes over us, to leave us here to lie or swim. Let's all join together and celebrate and remember all that could have been. Remember all that could have been. Let us pray as the day goes dark. White gloves, polish, and flowers in the park. March the main streets and the boulevards on a Veterans Day. On a Veterans Day.
Here's one that I wrote a long time ago, but it always seems to feel like the times we're living in. This one's called Pledging Allegiance.
There used to be an American dream. We were all born to be free, live on the set of a Hollywood screen, pledging allegiance. Everybody driving a Cadillac, making a beeline to Las Vegas and back, with all our chips in a great big stack, pledging allegiance. Walk through a company town on what used to be solid ground, where nobody was ever gonna get sized down, pledging allegiance. When all those dollars they headed south, taking the food right out of the baby's mouth. Down in Mexico, they don't complain as loud. Pledging allegiance. Send a man to walk upon the moon. We can march him down the street to push a broom. We can give him a gun and teach him how to shoot. Yeah, we teach him to shoot. 140 will fry me. We'll take the skin right off of your legs. The sidewalk is still the place to beg. Pledging allegiance. Between the lines of those stars and stripes, the fine print says that we got some rights. To a steam grate on the coldest night. Pledging allegiance. Pledging allegiance.
Michael Veitch on your radar, and some wonderful songs. And I remind people that the album most recent is Best of Many Days, and is, I guess, best of many albums right now.
Yeah, you can get it on the website. We just set up the store. Everything's ready to go.
Okay. Well, thank you
Come
very
on
much
down.
for.
Signed. I'll send it signed.
Okay. Thanks very much for being on your
Thank you so
radar.
much, Ted.
And I remind people that if you appreciate what Michael has done, you should, first of all, you should share what you're doing online, but also pay attention to the crawl there that says paypal.me/onyourradar2020. You can pretend that it's like we would ordinarily do at Rockwood Music Hall, where we would ask you to do $15. Well, whatever you can do from the tip jar would really be appreciated right now. So, Michael, we thank you, and we'll get back with you at the end of the evening, okay?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next, I want to bring forward a woman from Los Angeles named Raye Zaragoza. And she's been dealing with wildfires and smokes and all kinds of stuff out there. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Whoops, we're not getting you too strong. Wait a minute.
Can you hear me okay?
A little bit more, if possible.
Hello, hello. Check, check.
Well, I think, yeah, you could make it a
weird.
lot louder, according to you.
Hello. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go. That's you.
Okay, great.
So yesterday was National Indigenous Peoples Day, and that's something that you can relate to. What's your heritage?
So on my dad's side, I'm Akime Otham descent and Mexican, so indigenous. And my mom is an immigrant from Japan, so Indigenous Peoples Day definitely means a lot to me.
Well, that's great. Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in New York City, actually, so
okay.
very big city upbringing.
Yeah, the melting pot of all melting pots.
Yes.
And what was your childhood like there growing up?
Well, I grew up in the West Village, so, we grew up really fast. We were kind of on our own and going on the subway, everything by the time we were 8 or 9 years old. And, I spent a lot of time on Bleecker Street when I was younger, and it was a really amazing way to grow up, but definitely felt like I grew up really quickly.
Really absorbing those folk vibes, I guess, huh?
Yes, definitely.
by osmosis. But you've migrated back and forth between New York and L.A. and New York and
Yeah.
L.A. So
Yeah, I
what
just
was the
can't
reason?
decide. I keep going back and forth. I moved out to Los Angeles when I was 14 years old, and I really wanted to go back to New York. I missed my upbringing. And so then I went back when I was 20 and then was there for about 3 years and then realized, okay, like life in New York as an adult is really hard. It was not like it was when I was a kid, when you're having to fend for yourself. It was different. It was great. I was pounding the pavement, getting my start as a singer-songwriter and bartending. But then I moved back to LA and I was able to do music full time. So now I've been back in LA for about 4 years.
Yeah, I think at one point you were living not too far from Rockwood Music Hall, right?
Yeah, I used to play at Rockwood all the time.
And I was hoping
yeah.
that you could play on your radar at Rockwood, but maybe someday, huh?
Yes, that would be amazing. I miss Rockwood so much.
So, like Michael, you've had lots of songs with a social conscience. I call them songs of compassion and commitment. I actually have several Spotify playlists
I
on
love
songs
that.
of compassion and commitment. I invite you as well as the viewers to check them out. What was the thing that really triggered that interest in you?
I think that, I've said before, I feel like just being a woman of color in the United States of America is an experience that is oftentimes like laced with injustice, and you have a lot of social issues in right up front, and you see a lot of racial injustice right in your experience of life. And so I've always felt like the deeper I've gone into looking at myself and looking at my own place in the world, the more my music has become socially conscious, because I write a lot about just experiences of my own or experiences of my parents. And, once I kind of dug deeper into that, I was like, oh my goodness. A lot of my story is actually reflected back at me through a lot of these movements. And telling my own story, I feel, has also been kind of this paralleled to writing socially conscious music.
As I recall, you got some strong, almost viral reaction to one of your songs. Was it about Standing Rock? Was that the breakthrough? Yeah.
Yes. In the River, that was in 2016.
Yeah.
And I just, wrote a song about what was going on and made a video with facts about what was happening at Standing Rock. And like overnight, it was shared like a few thousand times. And that was pretty wild for me to see that happen. And it definitely showed me the power of music and how a socially conscious song can really open minds.
Well, your new album, which is about to be released, called Women in Color, was produced by Tucker Martine. And he's no slouch. I know him of the Decemberists and My Morning Jacket and Roseanne Cash, among many others. How did you connect with him, and what did he bring to the party for you?
Oh, Tucker, he's so amazing. It was like 2015, I believe. I was driving down Venice Boulevard and listening to Sirius XM or something. I don't remember. And a Blind Pilot song came on, and I just knew that whoever produced that song was going to produce my music one day. And then years later, my manager's like, who do we want to produce this record? And I'm like, Tucker Martine. And so I met with many, many, many producers, but my heart was set on Tucker, and I'm so glad that it ended up working out. And he's just, I really think we look at music very similarly. He's really about the quality and like just the sonic simplicity, but also in such a complex way, if that makes any sense. He's a wizard with music, and I'm just such a fan.
Well, it has to start with great songs, which, by the way, I really think you've got an album full of wonderful songs, start to finish. And, of course, production values don't hurt. So thanks so much for, the album, and thanks so much for being on your radar. Would you take it from here?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. And you can hear the guitar okay? So this song is called Fight Like a Girl, and it's a song from my new record that'll be out on October 23rd, Woman in Color. like a girl. Send me knowledge, send me peace from where you were fighting. Oh, the right side have today our homes, our boats, our voices. Easy, easy we go. It's beating on and on. Take me to the water, take me to the snow, where all the souls of our sisters had to go. Take me to the street sides, teach me your battle cries. Take me to the front lines of the war. Fight like a girl. Fight like a girl. Fight like a girl. Fight like a girl. Take me to the water, take me to the snow, where all the souls of our mothers had to go. Take me to the street sides, teach me your battle cries. Take me to the front lines of the war, to fight like a girl. That was Fight Like a Girl. And I'm going to take these headphones off because I don't need them. Okay. So this next song actually comes out tomorrow. And this song is called Rebel Soul. And this song is about the feeling of feeling misunderstood. And like everyone wants you to fit into a box that you just feel like you can't fit into. And I think we all have this feeling like we want to belong. But this song is about understanding that first and foremost we belong to ourselves. We are rebel souls. So this is Rebel Soul. I moved out to the city, all the vultures followed me, preying on my weakness like it was a disease. A few times it brought me to my knees, brought me to my knees. So walked into the desert, fighting through the heat, searching for the answers that I can't seem to see. Tired of who they're wanting me to be, wanting me to be. When the only thing you're left with are your torn and tattered clothes, when you find yourself wandering down a dark and lonely road, when you've got a feeling in your heart that no one seems to know, feeling like a complete unknown. I'm a rebel soul. I'm a rebel soul. I lifted up my head and I walked into the clouds. Decided that this moment won't ever get me down. Nobody's gonna stop me now, gonna stop me now. When the only thing you're left with are your torn and tattered clothes, when you find yourself wandering down a dark and lonely road, when you've got a feeling in your heart that no one seems to know, feeling like a complete unknown. I'm a rebel soul. I'm a rebel soul. When the only thing you're left with are your torn and tattered clothes, when you find yourself wandering down a dark and lonely road, when you've got a feeling in your heart that no one seems to know, feeling like a complete unknown. I'm a rebel soul. 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 That's Rebel Soul. It comes out tomorrow, and you can check it out on Spotify, or you can see on my website, rayezaragoza.com, where you can also pre-order my album that comes out next Friday, October 23rd. Okie dokie. This next song is a single that came out a couple weeks ago, and it's called They Say. This song is about, I wrote it almost 2 years ago, about my frustration of feeling like depending on like your socioeconomic class or the color of your skin is what defines how protected you are in this country. And that's very frustrating, obviously. And it's wild because once this pandemic hit, I realized that these issues were really bubbled to the surface, and we see how people are treated differently and are affected differently, especially in a pandemic. So this is They Say. They say that folk music's for the elite, the wise and the old with their college degree, a $40 ticket and a $15 drink. They say that folk music's for the elite. They say we're living an American dream, and if you work hard you will make money. If they say that folk music's for the elite, well then who's gonna sing for me? They say that healthcare will never come cheap, but you'll do just fine if you stay healthy. If you can't make rent, then just get another job. They say that happiness is for those who work hard. They say that love, well that's one thing that's free. Let's fall in love and not buy anything. I'll build you a house we can sit in the dark. They say that happiness is for those who work hard. If they say that folk music's for the elite, well then who's gonna sing for me? Who's gonna sing for me? That was They Say, my single that came out a few weeks ago. And I just wanted to remind everyone to share this video. If you're tuning in, please share it with all your friends. And thanks for being here. I'm Raye Zaragoza, if we're just meeting for the first time. All right, I'm going to play the one and only love song from my new record. Hello, Cheyenne. Thanks for tuning in. Grateful that you're here. Happy belated Indigenous Peoples Day to you, sis. This is He Calls Me River. I've been lost in the forest for weeks. I've been seeing faces in the trees, and I swear I heard that handsome man call out to me again. He calls me river, I call him the wind. He's been holding me close, singing me to sleep. We cut through mountains, make our way to the sea. Oh, I thought I'd seen it all, but this place I've never been. He calls me river, I call him the wind. He said, lay me down in the ground and let your water drown me. Lay me down in the ground and let your water drown me. He calls me river, I call him the wind. He calls me river, I call him the wind. Thank you so much, Joshua. Thanks for tuning in. That was He Calls Me River, the one and only love song on my new album that comes out next Friday, October 23rd. Please pre-order my album if you haven't already. Check it out. It's rayezaragoza.com. I've got all kinds of fun merch and stuff. Yeah, thank you for posting, John. All right. Gonna play some more songs. All of these songs are going to be on my new album. And this next one is called The It Girl. And this is a song about growing up feeling very insecure about having brown skin and feeling like you could not be brown and beautiful. I now know that's not true at all. But as a kid, it was a big insecurity. So this is The It Girl. I could tell I was living in a world that wasn't made for brown-skinned girls. Just you wait, it'll be a turn. And in the mirror I would say to her, I could be the it girl, can't you see? I could be the face on the magazine. Paint me like a debutante, your prom queen. Pretty little it girl, yeah, that's me. Do you ever feel like everywhere you go, you're just an act in the sideshow? Just a friend, a second thought. It's time you give them everything you got. I could be the it girl, can't you see? I could be the face on the magazine. Paint me like a debutante, your prom queen. Pretty little it girl, yeah, that's me. You wanna be like anybody else? You're better off just being yourself. Why don't you look into the mirror and say, I wouldn't want you any other way? But I could be the it girl, can't you see? I could be the face on the magazine. Paint me like a debutante, your prom queen. Pretty little it girl, yeah, that's me. I could be the it girl, can't you see? I could be the face on the magazine. Paint me like a debutante, your prom queen. Pretty little it girl, yeah, that's me. Pretty little it girl, yeah, that's me. Pretty little it girl, yeah, that's me. But I don't give a shit, girl, yeah, that's me. That was the It Girl. More songs from the new record coming out next Friday, October 23rd. And I'm pretty much just gonna play all the new songs. This song is called Run with the Wolves, and it's a song based off the book Women Who Run with the Wolves. And the book is about, it's a collection of myths and stories about women like returning to their wild woman archetype, wild side. And I love that idea. I've never been one for how women should be domesticated and nice and sweet and quiet. Not my thing. So this is a song about that. Feel the earth beneath my feet, pulls me down. I heard the sound echo softly in the breeze, in the clouds. I hear them now. We used to be so free, get back to who we used to. Ground, look to the mountains, feel the air rush through your skin. It's the way it always should have been. Running, 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 running with the wolves again. Running, 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 running with the wolves again. There was a time when we were wild, moving fast, you couldn't hold us back. And then they came and stole our fire, put us in a cage we could never change. We used to be so free, get back to who we the mountains. Feel the air rush through your skin. It's the way it always should have been. We're running, 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 running with the wolves again. We're running, 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 running with the wolves again. Leave the ground, look to the mountains. Feel the air rush through your skin. It's the way it always should have been. We're running, 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 running with the wolves again. We're running, 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 running with the wolves again. We're running, 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 running with the wolves again. I was Run with the Wolves. Thank you, Farmaz. And Run with the Wolves, that song has a video coming out in the next couple weeks. It's me roller skating through the desert. So if anyone wants to see that, stay tuned. It's me returning to my wild side. All right, I think I have time for one or two more songs. I feel like there are some New Yorkers in the house. This is a song about the street I grew up on, Houston Street. This is for all the New Yorkers. Shadow of who we used to be are haunting me, are haunting me. Our silhouettes on rooftop sheets are following me, are following me. Travel the world, but I keep coming right back to our old street, the only home I've ever had. They boarded up all those places where we'd meet, so I waved goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. Waved goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. They gated all the parks and the bodegas are all gone. They took a part of me, a part of me. And all our friends, they packed it up and moved along. It's no mystery, it's ancient history. Travel the world, but I keep coming right back to our old street, the only home I've ever had. They boarded up all those places where we'd meet, so I waved goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. Wave goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. Travel the world, but I keep coming right back to our old street, the only home I've ever had. They boarded up all those places where we'd meet, so I waved goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. Wave goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. I wave goodbye to the ghosts of Houston Street. I miss New York so dearly. All right, I have one more quick one for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Again, I'm Raye Zaragoza, and please connect with me if you can. Connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much to John and the whole team for having me today. I'm so grateful to be here. And I'm going to end with a song that is not on my new record. It was actually on my my last record. So I'll end off with an older one. This is the American Dream. Thank you, everyone. I've been thinking about the news. Daddy leaves it on all day through. I've been thinking about the wars. And to be honest, I can't take it anymore. I hear you every day. The awful words you say. And hate can't be the face of the American dream. I've been thinking about my life and how one day I want to be a mother and a wife. I've been scared of that thought too. In a world of struggle, what are we gonna do? I hear you every day saying it's gonna be okay, but hate can't be the face of the American dream. And I know we've got a long way to go, but I've got to believe that change is a choice, and it can start with me. 'Cause I've been thinking about our mother and how they took her away from her people, put her in a boarding school, away from her brother, sister, and culture. I can hear her every night saying we've got to make this right, 'cause hate can't be the face of the American dream. And I know we've got a long way to go, but I've got to believe that change is a choice, and it can start with me. And change is a choice, and it can start with me. And change is a choice, and it can start with you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Raye Zaragoza. Whew, what a voice. What a voice, and what songs you've got. That new album is called Woman in Color, and I'm so glad we got to hear almost the whole thing, because it's chock full of really wonderful songs. I know the people out there on their computers or their TVs were enjoying this, and I know the fellow artists in the StreamYard control room
everyone.
were also raving for it. So, yeah. And if you were digging it as much as we were, I hope that you will, first of all, go to the PayPal tip jar, paypal.me/onyourradar2020. It's there on the screen. We count on your generosity to, give a little bit of something back to these artists who give us so much in what they do. And we share it equally among the artists. I don't take any of it. It all goes to them. So also, I want to ask you if you're enjoying it, share it. Share on your Facebook or YouTube. Right now or later on, because we'll be archiving the performances later on. So thanks once again to Raye Zaragoza.
Thanks for having me.
Zaragoza.
Thank you.
Out in LA. Okay, now we're going to turn our attention to LA, as in Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana, to Pete and Crystal Damore, aka Ordinary Elephant. Hi guys, how are you?
Wonderful. We've been enjoying
Yeah,
all the other music.
back safe from a hurricane, and
Yes.
yeah, you had
We
a little
did,
bit of a
but
scare
we-
there, huh?
Yeah, we got lucky again, and
But-
yeah, nothing major. So we're thankful to be here.
Safe and sound. Now, I know your roots are in Texas. I think that you met at Texas
Yeah.
A&M, right? At an open mic in
Yeah,
Texas College
did your
Station,
research.
that great college town. Well, yes, I do. That's part of what I have to do. But I have to ask, and this is a question I ask of all married musical couples or even non-married musical duos, was the chemistry
We're
instantaneous?
like, what is the other one gonna say? I mean, we were in the friend chemistry was there. Like we were there with a group of. We met at an open mic with a group of friends, and we became friends first and started hanging out in a group, and then it kind of was like, oh,
Okay.
wait, that kind of thing. Right.
We got something more than just the music, huh? Now, you both had pretty heavy
Yeah.
day jobs, I think,
For
at
sure,
the time,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I was a
What were they?
programmer, so I just sat at a computer all day.
Yeah, and I was actually a veterinary cardiologist, or I was doing my training
Now,
to
that's
do
an
the
interesting-
cardiology part of it at A&M. Yeah.
That's an interesting specialty. Yeah. But, what made you, take, maybe we should say, what made you commit to music and also to marriage? Two questions that
Yeah,
people
I
want to
mean,
know the answers to.
The music thing kind of, we started playing music together, and actually it was when he got the banjo that it really like clicked to play together. It just
Your life was changed by
yes,
banjo?
for the
So-
better, for the better.
No banjo jokes in this group, huh? Okay.
But yeah, we we never really thought it was something that we could do as a career. It was just something that we knew we would always do. And then we ended up, when we started living on the road, it was more of a lifestyle change. We weren't doing it to like, okay, we're going to be full-time musicians. We were just changing the way we lived. We were just going to be nomads and live in an RV. And that the way we shifted our life around that gave us more time and allowed me to get back to my creative side and realize that that's where I felt like I was actually supposed to be. And it was kind of a gradual, circuitous path, but
I think there were two questions though.
yes,
Yeah,
the
you
other
didn't
question-
answer the second question.
That was one. And the other was, what was the other one? Something about getting married?
I think Pete knows the answer, or knows the question. Maybe he knows
I think
the
it was
answer
about
too.
getting married. Have you ever played Bananagrams? There's
I
this
know
little-
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we fell in love over Bananagrams.
Okay,
And,
that's a true love story, huh?
Yeah.
I don't want to take any more time on that, but inquiring minds do want to know these kinds of things. So, when did you think, or when did you feel, after all this time on the road, that you were getting successful?
Well, it was pretty gradual until in 2018. Sorry, I think about 2017 when we
Yeah.
when we got Kerrville, New Folk, and Falcon Ridge,
Right.
and Leaf.
Yeah, it
was
just
that
started
that
kind
was the year
of,
before.
the different kind of like competitions or the different
Recognitions.
conferences and things like
Yeah.
that, where we just really started meeting the folk community as a whole and just really connecting with people. And that's, all the Folk Alliance conferences and things, that was such a huge part of what to me what allowed us to start feeling like, okay, we're getting somewhere, and we're
And
able to do
speaking
this.
of Folk Alliance, 2017 was capped off by the International Folk Alliance Conference of 2018, where you were named Artist of the Year.
Yeah, that was
It's
incredible.
completely unexpected,
Yes.
and I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, and then you followed that up with the album Honest, which is here,
Hey.
and got high on the folk charts. I think number 1 or number 2, depending upon what they were. Do you have
Yeah,
a follow up to that on your radar, to coin a phrase?
absolutely working on songs. We've got enough songs. We're working on chiseling them down and getting them to where they need to be, and then hopefully recording sometime soon. But we don't have any firm plans as far as when exactly. But
Will you do some new ones tonight?
we
We
will.
are, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks. Give us whatever you've got. This is
Yeah.
Ordinary Elephant on your radar.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Well, thank you all so much for joining us, all of you out there. We, it's like you said, we're in Louisiana right now, and I'm gonna take my headphones off. Can you pass those to you over there?
You may.
Yeah. So so we're in South Louisiana, and we're actually about 30 minutes away from where I grew up. So Pete grew up in Texas, and we met in Texas, but I grew up in South Louisiana. And so we ended up back here not long before the pandemic, actually. Really good timing there. And before that, we were living on the road for about 5 years. And that just really gave us an appreciation for how much where you come from is a lot more than just a place. It's the people that you come from, too. This is a song I wrote for my mom. 1, 2, 3. Eggshell white, painting your head, dirt beneath your nails, and years on the back of your head. Some things can't wash clean, and some will stick around. Blades of St. Augustine scattered across the driveway. Still feels like Sunday when I hear a Cajun band. Every chamber of my heart bears a mark of what I come from. Sometimes the world falls apart, but I guess that's what it takes to find a heart cannot break. Wooden table on a concrete slab, the fish are red and the crabs are blue. Every 5-gallon bucket carries a piece of you. Some things can't wash clean, and some will stick around. Spilt beer and a deck of cards, no bed sheet for tablecloth. Some of those days are lost, but most I still come across. Every chamber of my heart bears a mark of what I come from. Sometimes our world falls apart, but I guess that's what it takes to find a heart cannot break. I come It's been a little bit since we've played a online show, so it's good to be back sharing our music with everybody. John had asked if we were going to do some new songs, and we're going to do a new one right now. Our pandemic started with us flying to and back from Australia in a matter of 5 days. Because that was basically when, it was before everything was shut down. It was right when things were changing very quickly. Things were changing very, very fast, day to day. And nothing was shut down when we left, and then things started shutting down when we were there. And so we had to come home, and we kind of were running on adrenaline for a little bit, just trying to get home from another country was stressful, and making sure that we could do that. And so we get home, and it feels like, all right, we did it, we got home, and it's good. And then the reality of everything really started sinking in, and just how heavy and real all of it was. And my brain started, it processes things in songs oftentimes, and so this song started finding its way out shortly thereafter. Oh, hang on, let me get a sip of water.
Tell me that story again, darling. The one where we all end up alright. Tell me that story again, darling. Wasn't it true once upon a time? Wasn't it true once upon a time? I'll keeping up with the laundry. You'll keeping up with the car. I guess things aren't really changing here. It sure feels like they are. It sure feels like they are. We got good dogs, we got a good porch. Got eyes to see and we've got a good view. Got ears to hear and we are listening. Truth is not something we can choose. Truth is not something we can choose. Tell me that story again, darling. The one where we all end up alright. Tell me that story again, darling. Wasn't it true once upon a time? Wasn't it true once upon a time? Wasn't it true? Wasn't it true once upon a time? Wasn't it true? Wasn't it true once upon a time? Wasn't it true? Tell me that story again, darling. Wasn't it true? Tell me that story again, darling. true? Wasn't it true once upon a time? Wasn't it true? Wasn't it true once upon a time?
I checked the comments real quick. Do you want to flip to the other thing?
Jordy's here.
Jordy. Hey, Jordy. Friend of ours from Houston, Texas.
Cool. Some friends here.
Ooh. This is a song that it's not my personal story, but it came to us out in the desert, out in the mountains of West Texas a few years ago, and honored that it chose us to find its way out into this world. It's a reminder that your environment, the things we grow up in, our communities, our families, our teachers, those things can be the reasons that we end up with this unconscious bias and these discriminatory ways of thinking that we get conditioned into, that we all have lying within us. And those things can be the reason, but we need to remember that we can't let them be an excuse.
Excuses are easy when everything's on the line. These Montana magpies with their black, their white feathers sitting side by side, bringing unknown offering, something we should try. Was he a monster or a martyr? Depends on who he is. But once it's done, you can't take it back. How can I keep my mind open if my eyes are closed? It's hard to hide the hate when there's no love to show. How can I nail him head up for the color of his skin? Knock him down, make him pay for my father's sin. And I am starting to see we are all the color of the scars we keep. Show you you're older, my father always said, but he never did get old enough for that. Every Sunday afternoon, denim shirt, cowboy hat, out in the sun, throwing shadows in an axe. There's a tool for every job, a job for every man. Be careful what you put in your hand. How can I keep my mind open if my eyes are closed? It's hard to hide the hate when there's no love to show. How can I nail him head up for the color of his skin? Knock him down, make him pay for my father's sin. And I am starting to see we are all the color of the scars that we keep.
and it's harder to heal when where you were born decides what you feel. It's time to be a brother, not my father's son. I was born to be a bigot, that don't mean that I'm one. I put my boots on just the same, and when the day is done, I pray for you, my son. How can I keep my mind open if my eyes are closed? It's hard to hide the hate when there's no love to show. How can I nail a man up for the color of his skin? Knock him down, make him pay my father's sin. And I am starting to see we are all the color of the scars that we keep. We are all the color of the scars that we keep.
Gonna check our little private chat here. We were having some internet issues earlier. See, make sure everything seems okay. Right, good, okay. Well, when we decided to live on the road full time, we had a house, and we were in Houston, Texas at the time. And we switched over to an RV from a home, and that's a very interesting endeavor to take on, trying to figure out what to bring along with you. And it's more than a matter of just figuring out what physically fits in this very much smaller space. It also matters how much things weigh. Because RVs and trailers have weight ratings. And so as we're going through all of our stuff, we had to say, is this worth the weight of it to bring along? And the play on that phrase got stuck in my songwriter brain, and started thinking about all sorts of things that have weight beyond the physical. What were you gonna say?
I don't know where we'd be at without your songwriter brain.
Oh.
It's a good thing.
We ended up with this song.
Window in the wood frame you'll frame, thinking things only a kid can. You're 6 years old, but someday you'll be standing where I am. More of a man, more you won't understand. You will wonder if it's worth the wait. The worry wears you down. Half your life spent figuring out how to make the other half count. You can count on asking yourself if what you're doing is enough. If you're anything like me, when you grow up. Scattered puzzle on the table, big pictures start to take shape. Every piece has a place to fall, but you've got mistakes to make. You're green enough to bend, pure enough to break. You will wonder if it's worth the wait. The worry that wears you down. Half your life spent figuring out how to make the other half count. You can count on asking yourself if what you're doing is enough. If you're anything like me, when you grow up, you will question the fight and how it is won. You will fight the question whether it can be done to keep kind. All that rises from your chest to your tongue. Don't ever let your words do the work you've done. Sunlight through the kitchen window, your shadow ghost stands up taller than you. I'm 36 years old, but someday I will stand up taller too. If all the talk I talk is something I can live up to, 'cause I still wonder if it's worth the wait. Worry weighs me down. I'm still figuring out how to make it all count, and I can count on asking myself if what I'm doing is too much. To let you be who you want to be when you grow up.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, friends. I'm actually gonna, so in addition to writing songs,
That was your dad.
oh, hi Dad.
They're on their way back.
In addition to writing songs, I also write poetry. And we actually put together a little poetry book that we're bringing around to shows with us. So if people wanted to take them home, they could do that. They are now sitting in our cabinet here, but we would be happy to mail you one if you're into poetry
And mail.
and mail.
Sometimes it's just fun to get mail.
It is fun to get mail sometimes. But I'm going to read you one from here. This one is it's called Breathe. Filling like a flesh-colored water balloon, slow expansion of muscle, bone, and skin, to make room for the non-liquid lifeblood hang around our faces, heavy with humid molecules, taunting those with broken lungs. Nostrils flare like a wind-blown skirt, funneling in all they can. Cicadas crescendo into the moment, start to take it over as I let my breath out with a sigh, after the air has done its job, shared what it needed to share. A sweaty hand grabs mine and reminds me to keep walking. You know, we like going on walks. Anywhere we are when we're traveling, here around our house. We have a new song actually about walking, and this is what we.
That is about holding hands.
We've put this one out to our Patreon community, but we've not played it out publicly yet. So this is our first time.
The premiere
Of this song in a public forum.
No pressure.
Yeah. So sorry if we forget the words.
What's on?
Make you coffee every morning. You make me laugh when I'm trying not to. See me in ways I'm scared to. And love me anyway. Now this West Texas sunset is watching us walk off a hard day. With too much to do that in the way. Being who we are. It wasn't their best left being left behind. But I'll do it all over to stay shoulder to shoulder with you. As long as the rain turns to river in this canyon, this canyon returns my every word. I will sing it out in echoes. Anywhere the road goes, I'll walk with you, I'll walk with you, I'll walk with you. Got two dogs apiece, bouncing balloons on the end of their leash, kicking up gold dust from the sagebrush, tails to the wind. Now there's nothing like a good dog to show you the joy in a single moment. There's nothing like a good love to make every moment worth it. So I will spend every one left to come right
Hey, we didn't forget words. Well, I think we have time for one more song. Thank y'all so much for joining us, and John Platt for having us, and Michael and Ray for playing beautiful, beautiful music that we got to sit back and listen to. You want to do thank you or best of you?
Sure.
That's usually the way he answers this or this questions. Do you want this or this? Yes.
Yes, please.
We'll do a little short one to close out. So that last song was kind of started out in West Texas, and we love West Texas, New Mexico, that general vicinity. There's just something really magical out there, and we were down near Big Bend National Park, and we had gone to the McDonald Observatory in Fort Davis, Texas, which has one of the darkest skies in the U.S., and got to see some incredible things through these big giant telescopes, and all these things that make you feel incredibly small in the absolute best way possible. And we wrote this little song.
Small.
It
Not in the best way. I'm just kidding.
It is a banjo after all. We do have to count that, into our sets. Think about put in the banjo tuning constant when we're figuring out a set time.
Well, we're good.
Thank you again so much for having us and for listening. This is a little tune called Thank You. This canyon carved by the hands of the Rio Grande, 1,000 miles from what I once called home. I'm just a speck on this West Texas wind, blowing through these hills of stone. When I feel like next to nothing, next to something like that, I know there's nothing I need I don't already have. Tomorrow, looking at a sky full of past. The only thing that's new is the moon. Our eyes collect the light of stars born 3 million years ago, showing up as we are passing through. When I feel like next to nothing, next to something like that, I know there's nothing I need I don't already have. So thank you for taking me to the trees and where the mountains talk to me. Time ain't slowing down, guess you and I better learn to. 'Cause what's the worth of living through a life that cannot catch up with you? Thank y'all so much for listening. Can you pass me
The intrepid ordinary elephant. They probably
Hold
can't hear
on.
me.
Hang
so
on,
they
if you're
put their
talking to us, we
headphones
can't
on.
hear you.
All right. There's got to be some invention
Well,
to
I
fix
was
that
going to say
problem.
once again, the intrepid ordinary elephant who braved the hurricane to on your radar. And I say, Gillian and Dave got nothing on you.
Oh gosh.
It's
jeez.
such wonderful music.
Thank you.
And actually, I should ask, what's the origin of the name Ordinary Elephant? That's the most obvious question. I didn't ask it before.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, because there are no ordinary elephants. So even your everyday ordinary elephant out there, to us, is this magnificent creature. And so it's kind of a reminder to us that there are a lot of things in life out there that way. So to always take a second look at things.
Ah, okay. Well, the elephant's my older daughter's favorite animal, so I'll make sure that she knows that. We thank Pat, I call you Pete and Crystal Damore, Ordinary Elephant. They did just a thank you song. Well, we thank you, and we thank the other artists who shared the On Your Radar stage, so to speak, the virtual stage. That's Michael Veitch and also Raye Zaragoza. It's just wonderful music all around. I love the sense of camaraderie that we get from the artists, listening backstage, as you will, and everybody's offering moral support. And I also have to thank the producer, the StreamYard producer and guru, Rob Hinkle, for what he does backstage, pulls it all together. And also, I have to thank Gordon Nash, who's the social media maven, for what he pulls together both on Facebook Live and on, well, Gordon gets a shout out, not too much, and on YouTube. And also want to thank the Landmark on Main Street, who is our media sponsor for On Your Radar. And of course, thanks to all the people who supported this afternoon or evening, whether it was on YouTube or on Facebook Live. I want to remind people that you can, if you missed it or you want to see it again, it will be shared on YouTube or on Facebook on the John Platt's On Your Radar page. And if you haven't already, please put a little something in the tip jar at PayPal, paypal.me/onyourradar2020. And I guess the only other thing I need to pass along is next month, I should say. The next On Your Radar will be on November 10th. We will have yet again a married musical couple, our fifth in a row, Friction Farm from South Carolina, Tom Prasada Rao from Baltimore, and Kim Moberg from Cape Cod. So an all East Coast lineup, but we traveled far and wide to California, Louisiana, and Woodstock, New York, to bring together this music, which is so rich this evening. So thanks again to the artists, and thanks to all of you who are listening and viewing out there in the internet land. Take care, be well, stay healthy, and stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.